Let me know if you got that. Oh, there you are.
Hi, I couldn't find you today.
Uh-oh. Hi, Michelle. Lately after after we do the MenoLounge, the live, I try to save them and then they disappear. I don't know if
Oh
Instagram
no.
has changed some things.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I didn't see the live thing up, so but I found you.
I know it happens. Hey,
Here we
little
are.
blue angel and Linda, I think I see you here. Um, so anyway, we just like midlife, we rock and roll with the Instagram changes. Things
Right.
happen. So whatever. Hi, Karen. Okay, so let's talk about navigating summer. Barb, don't get mad at me, but I mostly eat the same thing over and over and over, so I'm
We've
not
had
that
that discussion before.
it really helps. I don't have to think, kind of like wearing black, like you don't have to think. But so help us out with some creativity. I thought maybe we could talk about proteins first, and then talk about carbs, and then maybe desserts, that kind of thing, to help navigate. So let's just go straight to the protein, because by the way, I am crushing it on my 120 grams of protein a day these days, like
Oh,
nailing it, nailing it,
okay.
nailing it.
I'm gonna
So
go backwards because
okay,
we need a strategy, right?
I like it.
So in summer, this is what I find, certainly true in my life and in my with my clients. Our schedule is different, right? The days are longer, so we tend to eat dinner later.
Yeah.
We want to be outside. Our schedules are different. Everything's a little bit more relaxed. So maybe we're not prepping as much. Maybe we're going on vacation. Maybe there's nothing in our house to eat. Maybe we don't want to turn the oven on because it's boiling hot. Maybe we're like having picnics with our friends in the park or something because it's a nice summer night and we're not like it's a little harder to do your basic whatever you got gets through the winter. For me, it's like throw everything on a sheet pan.
I was gonna
And then
say,
it's summer
roast
and
it
I'm
on the
like,
sheet
oh no,
pan.
it's too
Yeah,
hot to turn on the oven, right?
right.
So we have to kind of put a strategy in place. And the worst strategy is 6 o'clock at night, realizing you have nothing, right?
Which is
Because
no strategy.
which is not a strategy. Yeah. So you want to have some conscious decisions about your week and do some prep, do some shopping, CSAs, the community. It's when you get a farm box. I forgot
Oh,
what it stands for.
okay.
But it's a really easy way to have a whole bunch of fruit and vegetables in your house because it
So,
just gets delivered to you or you pick it up once a week and everything's fresh and seasonal and it's great.
so go back. So, community farm box, that is like
Yes.
your local community's gardens, and then you can go there and
No, it's from usually a farm or a collective of farms in the area.
how do we
Or
find that at the farmers market, or how do we?
farmers market, but just go online and Google CSAs in your area. There's some, like mine is actually not even from my area. It's a little bit more like Sacramento area, I think, is where they're headquartered. But they deliver vegetables and fruit, which I can customize. And then I can also throw in some protein like eggs or milk or cheese, and they have some pantry items. So it's really awesome because I don't have to go to the market. And I
I'm
know
all
on
about having
Thursday
food
nights,
delivery.
I get a big box of delivery and I still have to cook it, but like I customize it so I don't have to get stuff I don't like.
Okay, so it's called the CSA.
CSA, community, I forgot what it stands for.
Okay.
But it's a produce box type thing. And some of them will get delivered to like a neighbor and you just go, they'll leave it on the front porch and you go pick it up.
Mm,
So there's
okay,
all
I
sorts of
like
different
that.
ways. Yeah. And
I always have good intentions about going to the farmer's market on Sunday, and then I'm like, I really
right.
don't
So
want to get
this
out of my
gets,
jammies that early or
right. But
whatever.
this comes to you. So, you know,
I like
that's
it.
kind of awesome. It's
Okay.
obviously not as many choices at the farmer's market, but it's a good option, right? So, the other thing I just want to say about summer, there's a lot of opportunity for fun foods if you're gonna have a fun food, just enjoy yourself a little bit. Don't beat yourself up about it. Enjoy yourself and have a plan to get back on whatever your goal is. You know, if your goal is eating a whole bunch of vegetables and you decide to go have tacos for dinner and barely have a little bit of lettuce and, you know, guacamole or something, just make sure your next meal you're getting a lot of vegetables, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
like that you said called them fun foods, Barb, because we get into that whole shame thing of, oh,
yeah,
it's bad. I don't want to eat that. It's too much fat or too much sugar or this or that. But if we call it a fun food, then we can enjoy it and then move on. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And you know, you're probably going to want to have ice cream at some point. Just a
Yeah.
thing, right? So you might as well enjoy it and then get back to it.
Yeah.
So, okay, all that said, you want to do some prep, some just thinking about it. We can't, and I think in midlife, we've talked about this before, you can't really wing it and still make your goals. Like you need a strategy. So
Yes.
that I
Okay.
think is the,
Number
okay,
one. What
number
is your
one.
strategy?
Right. And that works for if you're at home. It works if you're traveling. It works if you're going to an event. It works if you're going, you just, do plan B because it's too hot to cook or whatever.
Okay.
Okay. So, the next thing I think is really about where, like, how do you start the day off, right? Like, start the day, balance your blood sugar, eat some protein, really set yourself up so that you're not getting cravings for things that you don't want to be eating later in the day, or you don't get too hungry so that you want to just scarf down everything between the time you get home in the late afternoon and the time you go to bed, right?
Right. I just noticed that when I prioritize protein in the morning, even if I don't really feel like it, if I have that good protein hit, usually Greek yogurt with protein powder in the Greek yogurt, because that way I know I'm going to get to 30, 35 grams with some frozen berries on top. When I do that, my hunger is really managed through the whole day,
Right.
at
It makes
least
a really
until
big difference.
late
And so
afternoon.
your energy is managed too. So don't you notice that you don't get that dip at three,
Right,
4 o'clock as much where you're just sort of going for something sweet to
right,
make you have energy. Yeah.
right. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because I just want to share that because as women, especially we talk a lot about intermittent fasting, which is not terrible. You just need to make sure you are not fasting while you're working out because you need that energy to really get a good workout. But
Yeah.
then when you do have that first meal, get that 30 grams of protein. It will really serve you well. I have to remind myself to stop and eat sometimes at lunchtime because I can just blow by it because I'm so
Yeah.
satisfied from the
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah. And I think, Greek yogurt is great, a smoothie, great, eggs with a little added egg whites in it for some extra protein. Think out of the box too. If you have leftovers from dinner and you want to eat it, go for it.
Right.
Whatever, right? Yeah.
Have that meat in the morning. But I
Yeah.
will say, I think having a protein powder that you like, that it is really good. Instead of trying to like make up your protein at the end of the day, that is a really good time to use the protein powder that you like
Yeah.
because you're going to
And
start
even, especially if you aren't
easy.
a person who can handle dairy, that's a really, you could even eat a a plant-based yogurt and put some protein powder in it and really get your protein set for the day, really set up without having to have, dairy.
You don't have to.
'Cause
I
that
put it
doesn't
in
work
my
for a lot of
oatmeal.
people.
When you find one that you enjoy, I put in
Yeah.
my oatmeal. If I just have that morning, like I really want something, in the Bay Area, it can get cold in the morning still. Plus, on the days that I'm super hardcore, okay, I love a good container. I don't know if you have any. It just makes it more fun. Like I put my creatine in here and shake it up.
Yeah.
But some days I just put my scoop of protein. Like I don't feel like I don't have time. I just put a scoop of protein. I put my creatine in there too. pretend it's a martini. No, I don't like martinis, but anyway, and then knock it out. Done.
Yeah.
You know, not every meal, we don't have to fall in love with every meal. And I really feel like that first meal, if we can tell ourselves a new story about how functional it is for us, especially in the summer when we're going to have more exposure to treats and things, just get that 30-35 in protein right out of the gate. Okay.
Yeah.
And get these cute things. It makes
That
it
is
more
cute.
fun.
Very,
Okay,
very
good.
cute. Yeah, so I think that's really important. Yeah, especially if you're going to end up somewhere later in the day where you don't really know what your options are going to be.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay. So something else I wanted to talk about. There's summer vegetables are, good, but summer fruit is delicious. Like it's just there's stone fruit, there's berries. It's just this is the time, right? So again, there's lots of colors. It can be really satisfying. It can be even freezing things can be really delicious. I really like to pair some sort of fruit with some sort of protein or a fat just to stabilize your blood sugar a little bit. So, sometimes adding fruit to a salad or, if you're grilling something can be great. If you want to have it as your dessert after you've had a meal, really, can be delicious. So I think, leaning into that, you're going to get a lot of fiber with that. You're going to get a lot of color, which is good for decreasing inflammation. It's going to taste sweet, but not be full of sugar or added sugar, right? So that's something I think that's really, a treat that we can all like. Taking a fruit salad somewhere is always a welcome dish, right? It can be for brunch, it can be for lunch, it could be for dinner. It's always a good thing.
It's always a good go-to and I like the idea that you said sometimes pairing it with a protein or a fat so it doesn't spike our glucose so much. But then sometimes if there's enough fiber, that will help too. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But this is really like the summer fruits, when they shine. So definitely go into them. And certainly
Remember we talked about that website that you can go to see what is seasonal in your area?
Yeah, I think it's like what's in season. Yeah, or
.org. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't look it up right now. But you can see, but you can also go to the market. Whatever is they have on special, that's what's in season because they have a ton of it, right?
Exactly. You know what I find is a really fun treat, and I call it a treat because they're so sweet in this time of year, is grapes and frozen grapes.
Yeah, frozen grapes really good.
Because sometimes you just want that little bit of sweet, and I get them,
and they're juicy.
And they're juicy, or they're frozen, and it feels like a yummy popsicle or something like that. But they're so sweet, and it's a good little treat.
That reminds me, fruit is great to put in your water this time of year, and we have to be really careful about dehydration. So getting your water in, dress it up if you want. Nothing better than
aesthetics matter. I wish I had some fruit in here right now.
Yeah. It'd be really good with some nectarine in there.
No, I like it. This is the time to have fun with our food, just like we're having fun in the summer. Get out of the dreary browns and of everything and dark green. Little Blue Angel said frozen what? Frozen something, I'm guessing. Yes.
I mean, I love grilling stuff, fruit and
like peaches. I think about grilling
peaches, nectarines, super good.
You just put them on the grill, cut them in.
Yeah, cut them in half, and then put them on the grill.
Amazing.
I mean, they don't take very long to cook, so they're easy and they're like delicious.
And then ice cream on top. Yeah.
No, but like if you're doing like a salad or grilled chicken, it's or even grilled fish, delicious.
I'm gonna go with the grilled chicken on that. Or I like that, like the warm thing on a salad for dinner.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good. Okay.
Get your grill out.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, another really delicious salad to bring to an event or enjoy at home, like a watermelon, basil,
Mint.
feta salad or mint. Yeah.
Yeah, I had that with a little crumbled feta. I think it
Yeah.
was in there too. I'd never
So
had
good,
that
right?
salad before. Wow. I mean, the
I know.
flavors that are just, and watermelon is so yummy right now. So watermelon, mint or basil or both. I
Or
don't
but
know.
yeah. Yeah. And some
And
feta.
feta.
Delicious. Yeah.
You will eat the whole thing.
Yeah. Even and you can use like plant-based feta if you don't eat feta,
Mm-hmm. Or you
right?
don't even have to have the feta, but
Yeah.
it is a nice,
But it's nice, yeah.
it's
Really nice.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you put walnuts in that?
You could. I don't think I would, but you could. It would
I'm
definitely
sort
add
of
some
a
crunch.
textury
Yeah.
person,
Yeah.
so a little bit of, I don't know,
Yeah. Go for it.
unnecessary.
Yeah, maybe you could do some like pumpkin seeds too.
Oh yeah, something small or like pepitos.
Yeah,
Pepitos.
those are pumpkin seeds.
Yeah, I know, but pumpkin seeds are big. Pepitos are the little cute ones that I like.
They're the same, but yeah.
Okay, all right. That's a good salad to take with. Now, except for I have to say, cutting a watermelon, unless you have a hack, is hideous. My husband,
Yeah.
he loves the personal size watermelons and he loves to cut them and like put them in a container and then we just mow them down, just
Yeah.
eat them. But cutting watermelon's not fun. Do you have any hacks for that? Not to
No.
put you on the spot.
No, get
No.
out your big sharp knife and yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Fair.
I don't,
Okay.
you know what? I mean, at least a watermelon's big. You're like, see your effort. Sometimes you go do some of these small things of chopping or cutting, and it seems like more effort to me.
Ever going
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah. And you don't pick the seed, whatever. I don't know.
Right. Whatever.
Yeah.
Those are good
Like, I
enzymes
think
for digestion.
squash is more of an issue for me because it's thicker to cut through. Like, it's hard to get through a squash with a knife. And then you have all the seeds and the stringy stuff in there.
Yeah.
So,
Everywhere.
yeah.
Barb, you're making me think about salads like that, fresh salads. Cucumber salad,
Yeah.
chopped Persian cucumber or
Yeah.
English cucumber with that same kind of with feta. I've also
Yeah.
used tuna a lot in that.
Yeah. It's good with like little tomatoes, peppers,
Mm-hmm. And
of
that
course
is
the herbs in
you're
there.
using tuna, I think is one of my new favorite proteins. I mean, you don't want to eat it all the time. You want to eat
Right.
clean tuna as you can get, because of mercury, by the way. But
It's a really good rotation once a week to put in, and you can stock up on it. You don't run out of it. It's versatile, right?
I keep it stocked now because you can use a little Greek yogurt if you don't want to use mayonnaise or even mustard or nothing. I don't know if
Right.
I'm weird. A little olive oil if you
Yeah,
want to.
olive oil. Yeah.
But it's so low calorie, high protein. It is such a good way to get your protein goals handled. And it's nice with cucumber, very fresh.
Yeah. Yeah. Or celery.
Mm.
You don't like celery?
I'm kind of like a kindergartner about certain things. The strings, what do you do with the strings of celery? If it's chopped, okay.
Of course it's chopped.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not like a scoop.
No, you're not eating it like ants on
A log. Like a kid when you have the celery logs with the peanut butter and the raisins on top, like the ants.
Ants
The
in a log.
strings, they ruin the whole thing.
Yeah, well, we're not eating that. We're chopping it up. Yes, yeah, yeah.
That's good.
But
so if you don't have cucumber, celery.
Tuna pairs really well with like a big white bean, a little olive oil, maybe some dill or something like that, and you can make a really nice salad. Get a lot of protein and fiber, all in pretty much pantry items.
Yes, excellent. I love that, Barb. Okay, that's an easy, quick evening meal too. If you're going to have a light meal to make at home.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're going to cook in the summer, make extra so that you always have something that you can repurpose a little bit, you know?
Mm,
If you're
smart.
gonna cook chicken or cook, you know, do a little extra.
Glass containers are my
Yeah, even
best friend.
hard-boiled eggs, like make a couple so that you
Yeah.
can pull them out and, you know, prep them with something. I mean, it's
How do you
definitely a good
heat
time to
them?
have the salad.
Do you heat them? Because I don't really like when you put them in, if you put them in the microwave, they get a little rubbery.
I don't
Um,
do that.
yeah, do you just let them come to room temperature if you're just going to eat them? Like,
Yeah, I'd either let them, or if I put them in a salad, I don't really notice.
you don't care. Yeah,
Yeah,
as
then I
much.
just kind of cut them up a little bit. Yeah,
Just checking. Because you can buy hard boiled eggs like already made in the package,
yeah,
but then those are, oh, I don't like the texture of those so much.
yeah. I mean, like, I think it's pretty easy to hard-boiled egg,
I think so.
but you know what? Like, I'm not commuting a really long commute
Right.
every day,
If you're
so
on the
for some
go or
people,
traveling,
yeah. Yeah, right. Exactly.
you've
If you're
got your
traveling, you know,
Mental
I think
bars
that's
and
another
some hard
thing.
boiled eggs.
If you're traveling, plan what you're going to bring on your airplane because airplane snacks are probably not your friend. Airport food, you know,
Not good and super expensive.
exactly, exactly. But you can bring food with you, and you can, if you're staying in an Airbnb or something like that, you know, do a little research ahead where your grocery store is. If you're staying in a hotel, check ahead and see if your room has a mini fridge and you can take their stuff out and you can put stuff in like hard-boiled eggs or hummus and veggies. Tuna's great for that. You know, whatever.
You're hardcore. If I'm traveling, I'm eating out, except for
You know,
usually breakfast.
I find it it depends on what you're doing. You know, like sometimes I think it's easier to eat breakfast in your room. Like
Yeah,
I can go buy some
that's
yogurt,
true. I'd
right? And
rather
some
have
fruit.
breakfast in my room most of the
Yeah,
time anyway. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And if I'm out and about, sometimes I like to do you know, depending on where we are, I like to do picnics and stuff.
Hmm.
So it's like if you're at the beach or something like that, you're gonna get better stuff. If you go to the grocery store and get yourself a few things and bring it yourself.
Yes.
You know, but then if I'm walking around a city, I'm gonna want to eat whatever I am.
What's there?
It's fun.
Okay,
Yeah.
going back to traveling really quickly, don't be that person who opens a tuna salad on the plane.
Oh yeah. No, that's not
Don't
good.
be that
That's
person.
not good. That's not good. Yeah.
I have had the fortune and privilege of sitting next to that person more than once in my life. How about turkey? Turkey and
Yeah.
cheese, turkey avocado. No tuna, please, on the plane. Just
I
saying.
know. It's really, yeah,
That's a
not
no.
good. That's a hard no.
That's
Hard
a
no.
travel
Yeah.
foul.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, sometimes that might be the day that you decide, you know what, I'm going to eat a good protein before I leave. And then maybe I don't have quite as much protein during the day, but whatever. I'll
Right.
make it up for
Got your
dinner.
Menlo bar. You're good to go. Get your fiber.
Yeah,
Yeah.
take some fruit with you, take some, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, but sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. But that's where planning is going to come in way better than just getting to the airport and getting chips or something like that.
Right. Totally agree. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I want to go back to easy proteins we were talking about. And you mentioned we were talking about chicken. I have to say, the easiest thing I have actually been able to be consistent with is my crock pot shredded chicken. I
Well,
will
there you
get
go.
1 or 2 packages of chicken breasts, and literally when I'm putting away the groceries, I already have the crock pot out, and I put a little bit of olive oil in there just so it doesn't get stuck, and I just drop them in there on high. No other liquid, a little salt, pepper, garlic powder. That's it. Now, if I were creative, I would put in other things, but I am not. And 3 hours, 4 hours later, I've got this incredible huge glass container full of delicious, delicious shredded chicken to put on all the things, on anything, at any, warm, cold. Sometimes I just might
Yeah.
grab a piece, a chunk of it. if I'm hungry as a quick snack. But I'm telling you, my mom always told me, you need to use a crock pot. I'm like, I don't want to use a crock pot. Oh, she was right. I am so sorry, Mom.
Yeah, the crock pot's pretty good invention.
Yeah.
You
But
know what?
also for summer, you know, because you're
Yeah,
not
because you're
turning
not
on your
heating up your
stove,
kitchen.
you're
Yeah,
not grilling all the
and
things.
you don't have to make a soup with it, right? We think,
No.
oh, it's a stew, a soup, whatever, but you can just cook in it, right?
Just and it doesn't and chicken isn't something that has to be browned, so you
Right.
don't feel, you know, you can add green salsa, you can just get as creative as you want with it, but to have
Yeah.
it, because I think when we don't have these things, especially protein pre-made in the refrigerator, is when, speaking for myself, I'll just speak for myself, is when I start to like look for quick non-protein things to eat. And so,
Right. Yeah.
but if it's
Yeah.
there and I didn't have to stand cooking it or grilling it or anything, it was just doing it while I was working on the Shopify store or, you know, production.
Yeah.
That is
I mean,
winning.
and if you don't want to cook it, go buy a roasted chicken. Every market makes them,
Yeah, then there's that.
right?
Then there's
Yeah.
that. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, let me
Yeah.
know. Let us
That,
know.
a turkey, sliced turkey can be a really good addition. You can always spice it up with some mustard and whatever.
Yeah.
Even ground meat, if you want to cook it, you can do a million things with, chicken, turkey, beef, pork, whatever your combination in there is. You
Yeah.
can mix it up. And it doesn't have to be a whole big investment every single time. It can just, it's really helpful to have things that you can just pull out and make it an easy, quick meal.
I love it.
Yeah.
Barb, I made a high protein turkey stroganoff
Yeah.
accidentally. So I had all
Uh-oh.
this ground. I, was, I know you're gonna laugh, but it was really the bomb diggity. Okay,
Well, and
so
now you have me thinking, like, how did you make protein noodles?
aha, I did it. So I had all this ground turkey. So I had 5 ounces of ground turkey, and then I had some white rice, but I only used a quarter cup of it just because you just want the texture of it. You don't need a big load of it. And then because I'm so in love with 2% Greek yogurt, 2% almost tastes like cream cheese or sour cream or whatever. Then I
I
put a big,
emphasize almost in that sentence, but okay.
what'd you say?
I said I'm emphasizing almost in
Almost.
that
Well,
sentence.
it's very different taste to me than zero fat
Yeah,
Greek yogurt.
agreed.
Two
I don't,
percent.
I don't like the zero.
I don't mind the zero, but 2% tastes heavenly to me. So I just put a blob on there just to like cream it up, like and then I just mixed it up, and I'm like, this tastes like stroganoff. It was like 40 grams of protein for
Wow.
400 calories of all this great lean turkey, 93% lean, 97% lean turkey, Greek yogurt, and then of course broccoli on the side. OMG. So there you go. Make your big
There you
thing of
go.
turkey, a little bit of rice. You know me, I'm a component eater.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I like to do like turkey and a little bit of leftover brown rice and then put some like soy sauce or tamari and a little grated ginger in there and make like a
Mm.
lettuce cup.
Mmm.
Super
So
good.
good.
Yeah.
I'm not good with lettuce. I always let it get spoiled, but that
Well,
sounds delicious,
it's
Barb.
like a first day thing for you.
I'm like, it has to be frozen or immediately cooked. That's it. Um, so I'm the kind of person that,
Yeah,
I'm here
I'm
for all
learning
the,
so much about you right now.
you're learning what my priorities are. That's what you're learning.
No lettuce.
I mean, I'll buy a pre-made bag of lettuce, but I don't really get to it. That's why I always have tons of frozen vegetables, mostly broccoli, right? That's just like easy. Don't judge. Don't judge. Okay. Here we go. A few minutes left. Desserts. We talked about fruit,
Yeah.
but that's always the thing when I go to these things, a picnic, a barbecue,
Yeah.
vacation, like that sweet stuff is like, Julie, over here, over here. Help me out. What are we gonna do with
So
that?
fruit, definitely. And I mean, cherries are in season right now. Yum, right? Whatever. We talked about fruit. It's always nice to have a little bit of dark chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
It's always good to remember. A lot of my clients right now are doing graduations. Like, if graduation cake is not their
Sheet cake.
thing, yeah, you don't have to eat it. You can say no. It's okay, right? And then sometimes just knowing you have something at home that you like, um, that you can eat when you get home can be really great. Or it's like you're not going to hurt anyone's feelings.
Right.
So get over it,
They're not
right?
even noticing because they're
Yeah.
eating their cake. They're not even looking at you.
Right. And if you love vanilla sheet cake, go for it. This is your time of year, right? Enjoy it. But
Yeah.
you don't have to have it. So that's something to think about. You can also make something really delicious with like a dollop of unsweetened whipped cream or something on a
That's what I
little
was going to ask
fruit
you.
or in
I
your
find
in a
whipped cream.
coffee.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that is a good, very satisfying thing to
Yeah.
have is a little bit of whipped cream on top of fruit. And that
Yeah.
makes you feel like it's very decadent and
Yeah.
it's not really,
Yeah.
no damage on that. No damage.
Right. And if you're going to have something, maybe you share it with someone, maybe you put a small amount in your bowl or whatever on your plate and eat it slow, savor it, enjoy it, and move on. When it stops tasting like so amazing, you don't have to finish it. Like, I always come back to like model, look at the toddlers in the room. They are going to eat as much as tastes good to them and then they walk away.
Right.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we're like, have to get to the
We have
bottom
to
of the whole
finish
thing.
it. We don't
Yeah.
have to
Right.
finish it. Yeah. Yeah.
That's super good. I love it. And going back to the sheet cake,
Yeah.
if you really have to have it, talking to a friend here,
Yeah.
go to the middle piece, not the ends, right? So you just get a little bit of it, and because it's usually
Right.
we just want to taste the thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
but we don't have to eat the corner with way too much, right? And then
Right.
we
And
like, why did I eat
you don't
that?
like the frosting. Don't eat the frosting, but everyone
Of
picks
course
around that,
not.
right? Well,
Why else would you eat a white cake? A sheet cake. You're only eating it for the frosting, Barb. Okay,
okay.
let's just
Well,
be
then
real.
just eat the frosting, right?
Right. But or the other thing, especially if you can look at your whole schedule, talk going back to strategy, where are the events during the week that you can plan for? Okay, I know I've got this party on Saturday night and then I have this brunch or this graduation. And so what are my choices gonna be? Like getting ahead of it. When I go to a restaurant, I always look at the menu ahead of time so I don't get there and then like get hungry and excited, big eyes about everything. I already know what I'm gonna order. Um, Helps me manage that like in the moment impulsivity around whatever's in front of me. So
Right.
looking
And
ahead to
if
your week and
someone's,
just making an intentional decision.
intentional decision. Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we got to
So,
wrap it up with
okay. Yeah.
mocktails.
So
Oh,
being intentional, I'm just going to
wait,
unwrap. Oh, okay. Okay.
mocktails.
Oh,
What?
yeah.
Right? Because alcohol, hello, everywhere with beautiful pieces of fruit in it and frosted glasses. And oh, it looks so good. And a margarita is always calling my name at an event. And they're not even my friend anymore. I don't even feel good at all
Yeah.
drinking
I mean, I
anything,
think
but they
there's
still
where
look good.
you look at what, maybe you want to have a glass of champagne because it's a wedding or something, right? Fine, but go into it knowing what it's going to do. You can always taste things and not finish them. And sometimes we decide it's worth it. Like, I want to celebrate. I don't care if I'm not sleeping well. It's one night, whatever. But you also can get a margarita glass and ask the bartender to fill it with soda water and a thing of lime, and you're good to go.
And
So,
then,
I think the thing is really, you do you. Do your, be conscious about it. And you don't have to be the same every single day.
mm-hmm.
You can make it work for you. Just know what you're doing. You don't want to feel bad the next day because you made a decision that you didn't want to make.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You're right. 100%.
So,
and if you do, you just accept it and move on. Yeah.
And move on. What I learned.
Right.
Asking yourself that. Yeah.
What
And
did I
sometimes
do?
we have to learn the same thing over and over and over and over again.
Right.
Right?
Damn it. Don't go to the event hungry. Lesson number 1.
Right, exactly. And start with alcohol. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't go hungry and get the drink right when you walk in. No,
exactly. That's probably not good. Yeah.
If you don't get anything else from this talk, that's it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, Barb, let's wrap it up for us.
Okay, so wrap it up. Be really conscious about your decisions. Like, you're in charge of what you're going to do. So, express that authority. Prep. Think about things. Think about your blood sugar. Think about how you want to feel later. Hydrate. Enjoy yourself. And have a plan to get back to whatever your goals are if you are going to go move away from them. So just really just thinking about it purposely, kind of like anything as we enter midlife and beyond. We can't just wing it, right? We're not 20. And we can't just function the next day. So really thinking and being conscious about it. And it doesn't have to be a whole big, write a novel about it. It's just spending a couple minutes.
Yeah. Just thinking. Taking a breath before you go in. Who do I want to be and how do I want to feel at the end of this event?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Only thing I would add in there is take advantage of good weather and walk it out, sister. Walk more.
Oh, absolutely.
Just walk more. Walk more.
Yeah.
That helps.
Well, we are lucky it's not, 300 degrees where we live. So
no. Oh my gosh. I hope everyone comes out to San Francisco this summer. If you do, let Barb and I know. I went last week to the Presidio, which is now this beautiful park. I didn't want to tell everybody because I don't actually want all of you people to go there. It's called San Francisco's Front Porch. It is stunning. You look to the left, Golden Gate Bridge, to the right, Palace of Fine Arts. Barb, have you been?
Yes, it's beautiful.
Isn't it phenomenal?
Phenomenal. Bring your jacket. Phenomenal. Yeah.
I know it gets a little breezy and cold, but that's okay. But you can just walk it out. You can walk and then walk over the Golden Gate Bridge and back.
Yeah.
So do an inspiring walk, but have fun. Have fun this summer. Be thoughtful and walk and choose wisely. Yeah. And eat the middle of the sheet cake.
Yeah.
Terrible. Okay, Barb, thank you as always. I'm looking forward to seeing you in person tomorrow night at the Highbury to take a look at the Balance documentary. Got some art there. It's going to be a lovely night. Yeah.
Thanks.
Wonderful. Thanks, everybody. Have a fun summer. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye.